Hello my little monsters! Welcome back to the channel and thank you for clicking this video. Today our lesson is going to be about author's purpose. So does anyone know what I mean when I say author's purpose? Or has anyone heard of author's purpose before? Well, if you want to learn more about it, then this is the video for you. When I say author's purpose, that means that it is the reason why an author wrote a text or the reason behind a text. So the purpose of that text. And so there is something that we're going to use, a mnemonic device, and it's a shortcut to help us remember 3 ways to categorize an author's purpose. And so that mnemonic device is referred to as PIE. Not the kind of pie that you eat at dinner or after dinner, but it's P for persuade, I for inform, and E for entertain. And so generally when we're reading a text and we're looking down and we're going through the sentences, we can say to ourselves a few questions to see, okay, is the author trying to persuade us as a reader or to change our mind about something? Is the author trying to convince us that maybe their opinion is right or to see something a certain way? Or is the author trying to inform us, to give us the facts about a topic and to add to our knowledge? And then the last reason would be for an author to entertain us. So is the author making you laugh or smile or even cry? So that mnemonic device PIE is what we're going to be talking about today as we cover author's purpose. And so now we're going to run through a few examples together talking about author's purpose and whether or not the author was going to persuade us, inform us, or entertain us. Now that you know what author's purpose means and you know the mnemonic device to help you categorize different texts as persuasive or informative or entertaining, we are going to draw a 3-column chart with the mnemonic device PIE. And so in the first column, I want you to write P for persuade. In the middle column, I want you to write I, inform. And in the last column, E for entertain. Now is the time to pause the video and you can go ahead and get your 3-column chart drawn with P for persuade, I for inform, and then E for entertain. Now that you have your 3-column chart drawn and your labels written at the top, we're going to look at the word bank at the bottom of the screen and go through these different types of text together and see what column they belong in. And so our first one is magazine advertisement. And so this is something that you see in magazines. It can be for food or for a clothing brand, but it belongs in the persuade column. So it is a persuasive type of text because whoever wrote that advertisement is trying to get you to buy something or to convince you to buy their product. And so we would say the author's purpose is to persuade. Now we have a few more examples, and our next example of a text that we will look at is a news article. And so a news article is written to inform a reader. There are a lot of types of news articles that you may already know about, like the front page and the sports page and all those kinds, and those are all doing one thing, and they are informing you. They are telling you more about a topic, and they are giving you facts and details. Now, let's look at another example of a text in our box, and we have a political speech. And so if you don't know what a political speech is, it can just be from someone who's running from office or campaigning to get into office. But when you hear a speech on TV or when you read a speech, the person who wrote that speech is trying to convince you to vote for them or convince you to support them. So that would go into the persuade column. And so right now we have magazine advertisement and political speech in our persuade column. And we have a newspaper article in our inform column because it's informing us. Our next type of text is a comic book. And so raise your hand if you like comic books. Yeah, comic books are awesome, and they usually make us laugh and smile and sometimes even cry. And so the author's purpose of a comic book is to entertain. And so make sure that you've got a comic book in your E for entertain section. And our next type of text is a recipe. And so you guys may have seen a recipe somewhere in the grocery store or at your house or anywhere really, And that recipe is trying to inform you of what steps to take to make a food or some kind of beverage to eat or drink. And so we would put that, a recipe, into our I column, inform. The author wrote that recipe to inform you. And our last type of text we're going to look at is a song. So raise your hand if you love songs and you love music. When you think, okay, maybe they're not an author, they're going to be a musician, but that musician composed that song so that the listeners would be entertained. They might want their listeners to feel happy or excited, and so we would put that text in the E column for entertain. All right, my little monsters, we've created our 3-column chart and we've sorted our different types of text into the column that they belong into. Now we're going to review author's purpose and what it means. So when we talk about author's purpose, we are referring to the reason that the author wrote a text or the purpose behind a text. And we came up with a little shortcut to remember this, and it is PI. P for persuade, I for inform, or E for entertain. So when you're reading, be thinking about, okay, is the author trying to persuade me, inform me, or entertain me? And that is author's purpose. If you need any help remembering it, just think pie. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to like it, and you can subscribe to the channel if you enjoy our content, or like us on Facebook under Mary's Monsters. If you're on YouTube, the next video will pop up in the bottom right where we will walk through the worksheet together and solve the problems. On Facebook, the video will show up as episode 2. And don't forget to like us on Facebook. So I hope you guys enjoyed learning all about author's purpose and pie, and I will see you next time, my little monsters. Bye.